Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox Recording here, showing you how to achieve an extra wide guitar tone within your metal mix. Welcome to Impulse Response Hacks, episode 3. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to remind you that you could have direct access to all of the impulse responses that I'm using in this mini-series for absolutely free. My brand new Impulse Response Octopack contains a total of 8 impulse responses, 4 different microphones, 2 mic placements per microphone. You get impulse responses of SM57s, 2 SM81s, 2 Sennheiser E609s, as well as an Electro Voice RE16. Again, the pack is 100% free. There's a link below in this video's description. Now, in the mix I'm about to play, my goal is to achieve a nice wide guitar tone that kind of sounds like it's almost outside of the speakers. Now, what most people will tend to do when they want this in their mix or mixes is that they'll overcomplicate the process and use stereo wideners and things that don't really give you what you actually want. As I always say, it's better to get it right at the source, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it within this tutorial. So let's take a listen to the guitar tone as it stands right now. Okay, I'm already happy with that tone. Sounds great, it's not fizzy, it's nice and meaty in the mid-range, just a great tone that was captured right at the source that doesn't need really any EQ outside of a low pass and a high pass filter. But with that being said, I want it to be a little wider. And the way that you can achieve this is so simple. Now, if you're recording live guitars in the studio with a cab and an amp head, the way I like to achieve this in these situations is to use a slightly different mic placement in the left and right guitar channels. And as you know, an impulse response is just a snapshot of a particular cab and a particular microphone and a particular mic placement. So when we're working with amp sims, we're pretty lucky. Now for these guitars, I'm using SM57 number 1 out of the Octopack, and it sounds great. I'm using it on both the left and right sides. But again, I want these guitars to be even wider. Now on the cab, when I captured these IRs, SM57 number 2 is a second SM57, and I'm miking the right speaker in my cab. And that cab was an oversized Mesa Boogie cab loaded with V30 speakers. So the one SM57 is the left V30, and the second SM57 is the right V30. Now naturally, when miking up a cab, moving the mic even half of an inch can make a world of a difference. So these two IRs will have a slightly different character. So let's listen to that sample with SM57 number 1 on the left and SM57 number 2 on the right. Let's check it out. As you can hear, when I switched the right guitar back to SM57 number 1, which is the same IR the left side is using, the tone kind of got slightly more narrow, and I didn't change anything outside of swapping the IR on the right side. So in my opinion, this is working out great, but I want it to be even wider. So remember, the SM57s are the same microphones. The only difference is a slightly different mic placement between the two mics. Let's make it a little more extreme by using a completely different microphone on the right side. And for this, I'm gonna try the 609 number 1 on the right side with the SM57 number 1 on the left side, and let's see how that works out within this heavy section of this song. Now to my ears, that really works with this production because the SM57 is slightly darker and the E609 has a little more top end. And here's the thing, I'm not really a huge fan of the E609 for heavy guitar tones on their own, but I've really been digging using them in conjunction with an SM57. Not blending them, but having one guitar side use the 57 and the other use the E609, and I feel that the two tones contrast each other very well. Now, the reason why this works is because these impulse responses were taken of the exact same cab loaded with the same speakers. That's the common thread throughout the IR pack that makes it work so well. The source is the same, we're just slightly varying the tonal characteristics via different microphones and different mic placements. So I'm curious to know, is this something that you utilize within your own productions? Whether you're recording live amps and you vary the mic placement on each side in the studio, or maybe when you're using amp sims, you vary the IR on one of the sides of your left and right rhythm guitars. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your opinion. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And do not forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos on all things metal and rock production. If you're interested in some Frightbox swag, got t-shirts, mugs, and other cool stuff on the way. There's a link below to the Frightbox merch store in this video's description. And again, you could download the exact same impulse responses that I've been using in this video series for absolutely free. There's a link below to my IR Octopack in this video's description. And until next time, happy mixing.